Hi, my name is Nihar, and this is the second video for my class. This is blog number 2, First Experience Summary. So I'm doing knitting as my project, and I went and bought some yarn, which is this right here, and some simple needles, which are these. Oh, just one minute. And so I spent a lot of time looking at different types of blogs and different videos. I checked the one that the professor had put up. I also went on this website called Reddit, where they have certain groups for specific things. And mine was, and I went for the knitting one, which was R knitting, /r/knitting. And in that they had frequently asked questions and an introduction. So I read through all that. I was learning the different types of techniques, and there's a lot of different terminology. There's something called a long tail cast on. There's a knit switch, and it gets more and more difficult as you go on. So one thing I liked about knitting that I found was really easy. That was once you understood a simple step, and you practice through it a couple times, you start to understand what it. You start to understand how, or like it starts to break down easier. Um, you start being able to dissect moves, um, and when I went through an how to video the first time around, and it seemed really complicated. And so what I had to do is pause every like 2-3 seconds, see where the needle was going, um, and it was really complicated. Um, that was one thing I disliked. That was really overwhelming in the beginning. Yeah, so for the how-to video, I watched it almost 8 or 9 times before finally understanding how it was done. Um, what else is there? And when the trying the activity out for the first time was really difficult because you had to concentrate on. There's a couple different elements. You have to know where your needle's supposed to be going, how you're supposed to hold the yarn, and there was a lot of stuff like that. Um, but after a while, I started to understand it a little bit more, um, and I got the first stitch is called the starting point of of the of the knitting. And so what the first thing you have to do is what they showed us is you have to use your left hand and kind of pull it like a gun, um, and have the yarn going through the thumb and the index finger right here, and and then you grip it, and so that the yarn is between the two fingers like this, and then you take a needle and you push it. This it pushes down on the front, or you go under the yarn, put your finger down, and pull it down. So after this, you move your needle to the left and go under the string under the thumb, and then you pull it out and do the same thing with the index finger, go across and go under, go across and then go under, and then pull it back around, and then you go between the two gaps, and then you like go over your thumb, and then you use your index finger to pull down, and this is your first stitch. And so you can keep repeating this process. For however many times you want your first stitch to be done. And it was definitely a lot harder than I expected it to be. Um, but over time it got a little easier and easier. Now I can do this first stitch pretty easily. Um, so I'm getting there, and it definitely did meet my expectations.